Well, oh, jeez. Welcome to Shelf Life. I figure it's the end of the month, so I might as well splurge a little bit and show you guys um, more than what I intended to. So, just keep it fun and entertaining. But so I originally was going to focus on showing you the X-Men side of the of my Marvel Legends display and show you how like it tapers off and um, the logic behind it and everything. And but before we get into that, I got some of these guys, the Gameverse Marvel Legends. So I'm going to use the this Captain America because I really like this figure to replace the old Captain America figure. I'll show you why. Little hint: he's missing an arm, but and it's a better looking figure. I wasn't going to get this one, but seeing Omega Red and War Machine's it's pretty cool. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll just leave it in the box. And then I got to update since I'm doing Captain America, I'm going to add the new Black Widow, since I'm sticking with the Avengers theme that I'm going to be updating. This guy, Star Fox, been waiting for him. Um, let's see. Yes, Star Fox and then the champion. But Star Fox been waiting for him. And then there's some other figures for my Marvel Legends wish list. These are the figures that I hope they'll create so I can complete my Avengers team. So, at any rate, I hope the Marvel Legends team does that. It's been interesting. I'm working off the roster. Let me see if I can pull up a picture here. Okay. Okay. So as I was showing you before, here is my X-Men side collection. So it branches off of the uh, original X-Men from 1963, and then I have you can see Havoc and Polaris added to there. It'd be great to have Mimic and some of the other ones that were briefly a member of the team, and then yet Magneto's still up there. And then, like I said, I don't personally consider Firestar or Sunfire to be a part of the X-Men, simply because they invited him, or Professor X invited him, but he refused to join. Here's the fun progression of the good Phoenix entity into the dark Phoenix entity. I got the obviously the deluxe kit that I used for both transformations and then part of it for Magma for her to be sitting on because she's a lava creature, mutant or whatever you want to call her. This is my favorite incarnation of the X-Men, where you had, the classic, it started with obviously the yellow suit Wolverine, um, but uh, but when I started actually reading, it was the brown suit Wolverine. So that's what I got used to, and then has Nightcrawler. I have him more crouched down because when he was drawn in the earlier X-Men pages, he was more beast-like, and then when he became a member of Excalibur, more upright, less beast and more mankind like. Then I have Warpath, even though he was briefly a member, and then Banshee. But this is the team that I really liked. I did a kit bash. I'll show you of Cyclops originally until I got this new one. I'm gonna actually switch out the belt so it's like a buckle like Wolverine. Uh-oh, I think this thing's possessed. There's a ghost here. I'll have to fix that later. Be careful with these shelves. You never know what's gonna happen. And then, even though Rogue, I don't recall her ever having this kind of a costume, but this is, you know, my symbol of where Rogue first joined. And then I was mentioning before, uh, this is going to be, I think, Kitty Pryde's original name was Sprite when she joined the team and had the original X-Men fatigues that the New Mutants are wearing. I guess you could call them the student outfits. And then here's Lockheed with the giant size X-Men #1. Um, here's a fun small comic that that came with I think it was Banshee. They had the small comic editions that some of you may be familiar with. And Lockheed is well, she doesn't say that that's her pet, but that's what you can refer to him as friend, I guess. And then there's the New Mutants team. I'll have to show you some of the process that I did with creating them and the figures that I put together with that. That's for a later time. But yes, I mean, definitely it's a kit bash going on, and I used some parts to create Ileana. Well, I'll show her another time. It'll be easier. And Excalibur, definitely one of my favorite X teams. Um, does anybody have a choice if they like her with the wings or without, or with the paint or scars or whatever you want to call them on her face when she has the black tattoos and she phoenixes out? That that figure comes with a head sculpt, and then she came with this mini um, Excalibur #1. And I know that there's other members, but I'm just really happy to have this particular version of the team, with an exception of Megan, obviously, or Megan, however some people want to pronounce it. Um, she had the town outfit. If you can probably not see that, so small. But this was her later on outfit, which is fine. It'd be cool to get the other version though. And then this was the '90s version. This is a cool team, even though I didn't really. Uh, most of my figures are not '90s; they're more '80s representative. Or they represent more the '80s, '70s, and when Marvel first started in the '60s. Um, so here's Forge. I didn't really have him originally. It was just this team. I wish I could. They did a green version of the updated one. This is a Toy Biz uh, version of Quicksilver. So it'd be nice if they did. I mean, it's not that hard of a jump to do a blue version for the green version. And this, like I think I showed you before, is the updated strong guy. I'll have to show you the differences since I replaced that. And I got random. That's why I added Forge, because I normally wouldn't have got him because I like the team as it is. But he's got, the tattoos are pretty cool. It's a good figure. It's a good solid figure. So even though he's like technically on and off with um, X Factor, I almost called him X Force. So that's a showing for another time. But yeah, sometimes they yeah, it's kind of like Magneto. They're friends with him. They're not friends with him. They fight. But yeah, so then I think Forge led the team. I think he originally. It's been a while since I read the comic, so um, then of course you have the Alpha Flight, which I don't know if anybody else you know has the information here, but obviously Galactus is the biggest Marvel Legends figure. But there's obviously smaller Marvel Legends figures, but I'm wondering if Puck is the smallest Marvel Legends figure that's still fully articulated. So then you have the here's my other Build-A-Figure. I got two Build-A-Figures um, with the Starjammers, Chode, whatever his name is, and then Sasquatch. He's my other Build-A-Figure, and I wish they would have Box and Marina. Can't remember her name. That would be a nice addition to the team. And then obviously we're lagging on some members here. We have Reza, and I don't know if the name's Hepzibah. They're like alien names, so they're supposed to be they're written differently, so I don't know the actual pronunciation. Um, and then I just threw she doesn't really belong in there, but Starfire. I'm gonna hang her up another time. Just this this is still under development. I'll have Binary, who's actually Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, all those different names that she went by. More figures down here. Nimrod and the Sentinel, the regular Sentinel. I mean, obviously they're both Sentinels. So anyway, yeah, you can see some of the other. This is where the X villains are. Mojo or Moho, whatever you pronounce it, and then Spiral. She's actually one of my favorite figures. I love the way that they did her in the Marvel's Legend version. And then I have the Juggernaut. That's actually the Diamond Select version. Same with Abomination. And yeah, even though that those aren't X villains, the Abomination and Kingpin and the Leader. That's just kind of like where I start uh, segueing into the general villains, which you'll see over there. But these are all the pretty much X villains. Um, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and then I put the Shadow King because it came with the Professor X in the hover chair. I put the Shadow King's head on the Lux Amazon exclusive Kingpin, and then we have Apocalypse. I got that larger version too coming up soon. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, um, Mr. Annual, Mr. Sinister. He always shows up for the annual, so that's why I call him Mr. Annual. So as you can see, I have the I need to re attach this X factor sign with better tape. So it's going to probably keep falling, either that or have a ghost that doesn't like X factor or something like that. But yeah, so I want to do a size comparison with Puck and some of the other Marvel Legends. I don't know if any, like I said, if does anybody else know if there are any smaller Marvel Legends? Here's a question: What is the smallest Marvel Legend? We know, like I said, what's the biggest. What is the smallest? I don't even know. So if anybody has that answer, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Let's figure it out together. And so while I oh geez, great. Yeah, that happened. Um, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Like I said, welcome to shelf life. You never know what's gonna come and go. All right, turn it off. So that wraps it up for uh technically this month and this year. So even though you're seeing it after New Year's and December, it's going to be January when you see it. So happy New Year, and I hope you guys had a nice, safe New Year and um, didn't have too much fun. Stay tuned for what's coming next. And as always, I'd love to hear your comments. If you have any feedback of, you know, some of the things that I didn't know, go ahead and leave some comments and give me a like and a share. That would be great. I'd appreciate it. And also, feel free to check on my e-journal in the links below. And of course, thank you for watching. Kitty Pryde and Colossus. That's going to be fun. And then, yeah, he has his own. Um, that's kind of cool. I kind of like her. but I might just put her on the shelf